Hi, my name is Aaron and this is my show, Re-Education. And today I'm going to talk a little bit about armed militias. So in my one of my recent videos talking about gun control, I brought up the fact that if you tried to form an armed militia of just regular citizens, that it's a very strong chance the government would come in and destroy you. Like I said in that video, if you tried to guard the door, they'd come in through the wall. If you tried to guard the wall, they'd come in through the roof, and they would basically attack and destroy you. And if they didn't do that, they would just blow you up with a drone from 1,000 miles away. So I actually had some pushback on this, and most of it was basically stating that I was a pussy because I didn't think that an armed rebellion was a good idea. I don't think that you guys quite understand where I'm coming from on this. So, do I think that an armed rebellion is 100% a bad idea all of the time? Well, I'm on YouTube, broadcasting in front of a whole audience of people, and saying that I would be for an armed rebellion would probably be a bad idea. It might get my channel shut down, and it might get me arrested. But do I, in the context of the American Revolution, think that an armed rebellion might be a good idea? Possibly. It depends on how you look at it. When it comes to an armed rebellion, you have to realize that such a situation would have to be a last resort. Look at what happens to every other country that goes up against the United States in armed rebellion. Iraq, Afghanistan, Libya, Somalia, Pakistan. I need not go on. They all end up in situations where the leadership gets completely destroyed and everything ends up being thrown into the hands of rebels and terrorists. Massive amounts of people die, and usually the stability of the government is completely shaken, if not for a short amount of time, for a very long time. Here's the thing that I like to think about when it comes to an armed rebellion. The United States has an incredibly tough time when it comes to groups and countries filled with people who are ideologically invested in their beliefs. It was the same thing with Korea. It was the same thing with Afghanistan. It was the same thing with Iraq. Continuously, over and over again, you see the United States military come in and fail, right? They come in and fail to spread their democracy. What they always end up doing is just dismantling the government, destroying the population, and creating terrorist groups, and sometimes funding those terrorist groups or arming them. So when I say that an armed rebellion is probably a terrible idea, it's because the portrayal that the United States has pushed on the idea of an armed rebellion seems like it could most certainly result in abject failure for the people that are doing the rebellion. But it also seems like that might result in failure of the United States government as well. It kind of reminds me of the whole scene of Scary Terry from Rick and Morty. Scary Terry was basically a Freddy Krueger-like character who continuously said, you can run, but you can't hide. And eventually Rick said, maybe he's lying. Maybe we can hide. And they try hiding and they completely get away from him. It might be a similar situation here where we're always told, you can't fight, you can't fight, you can't fight. But then when you try, you might win. Now, obviously, I'm not saying that you should ever try to go for an armed rebellion. I think that that is probably foolish and that it will almost certainly result in the deaths of everybody that you might know. But sometimes freedom must be fertilized with the blood of patriots and tyrants. It is its natural manure. At least that's the way I look at it. Anyway, my name is Aaron. This is Re-Education. Thanks for watching.